I don't have dreams of us sitting there in the doll shop playing dolls on the floor. It's whatever she wants to do and be. So if she wanted to do that, I think that'd be super fun. It stings so much that it brings tears. Not that I'm crying because it hurts so bad, but I can't help but have tears because of the stinging so bad. Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since we've had a chat, and I thought that we're long overdue. So stick around because I'm coming in with a 32-week update. So we have a little bit of a change of scenery right now. We are in the nursery. We are not finished by any means, We had spent a weekend and we got tons of it completed, and then life happened and we pretty much had to abandon it, but we're close. I just got the curtains in. I'm waiting for the rods, and we're gonna put up the curtains and get things situated and put together. The most important thing is I have all the essentials, the nuts and bolts, all the things that I apparently must have for the first 3 months. I made a list, I checked them off, bought all the things. Thank goodness for delivery. I had gone to like several stores and it was just chaotic and like weird being out there with like long lines and stuff. And so I did order a lot of things online, but we recycle all the boxes and I am just so glad to be pretty much set. The room's gonna be really cute once we get the curtains and just some more fun things in here. The biggest things we have are the Steiff animals, which are so cute, and I'm probably gonna go get a couple more from Grandma's, which is just next door, and we'll see how it goes. But it's a nice big room, and Derek did a really nice job. This was our guest room. I gave away the furniture that was in here to a really nice young girl that needed it for her apartment. Bump date, let's see what's going on here. So I'm sitting here at 32 weeks. We're at 32 weeks. Not bad. I can't believe it. Sometimes the days go so fast, and then sometimes they go really slow, especially when you have a lot of heartburn. But it's amazing. I can't believe I'm sitting here at 32 weeks. It feels like I just made a video. Feels like we were just announcing it when we were in Disney World, and I just made a video at 17 weeks, and gosh, it's when people say, oh, your pregnancy has gone so fast, that's supposed to be an annoying thing, like, well, maybe for you, but it actually has. It actually has gone really fast, and partly because just life goes fast, and I work full time, so I go to work every day, so it's kind of like a juggling act of being pregnant, and which is a job in itself, and running the doll shop and just doing all the things. And yeah, it does go really fast. So let's chat about a few things. I actually took a couple notes because there was just so many things that I wanted to catch up with you with and about. The first thing is I want to thank everybody so much for all of your well wishes and all of your sincere comments on Derek's dad. Paul passed away, and it's been devastating and life-altering for all of us, and especially Derek. Biggest thing that I was so thankful for is that he had been very bravely battling leukemia here in Denver for over a year, in and out of the hospital for sometimes months at a time. He was very young, only 66. No matter how prepared you are for anything, it does not equate to the feeling of what it feels like when it happens. And having lost a parent, me last year, losing my mom, I could really just, when you've been there, you know what it's like when you say, I'm so sorry. It's a different level of I'm so sorry, or I understand, or I'm there with you, or you're just there. And it's a whole nother level when you know sort of what they're feeling and what they're going through, because there's nothing like it. We got the call that it might happen soon. Derek has always been very, like, we communicate a lot and we talk about our feelings, but he wants to do a lot of things like on his own. And I was standing in the doorway when he was packing, and I asked him several times, do you want me to come with you? It's the family home is in Montrose, Colorado, which is about 5 hours from here. And he finally at the very last minute said it would be really helpful. I grabbed my computer and I packed a couple of outfits and we just like left very quickly. And I'm just so grateful that my brother and dad watched the dogs and we could just go, and we were there for almost a week. The doll shop ran itself with my help, and it was just so nice to be there and to give him that kind of support that he needed, and just be, it was very helpful for him, I know, just to have me in the room, whether I was saying anything or not. So I just couldn't be more grateful to be in a spot in my life. The bills never stop coming, but to be a spot in my life where I could just go and do that and just do what I needed to do for my family. So thank you so much for all of your well wishes and support for all of that. It's been just, it's been a lot for the both of us with our parents, and so many of you shared your stories and things that happened to you when you were even pregnant and stuff like that with losing a parent, and oh man, it's tough. So yeah, it's a club nobody wants to be in. I've been extra sweet to Derek, which has been just really sweet and nice for our relationship. For instance, last night, he's been working so hard at his studio because he's in crunch time right now anyway, and he's been doing a lot of late nights, just working really, really hard. And I get off much earlier than him, so I do have my evenings. And so last night there was this casserole recipe that I just knew he would love, and and I went to the grocery store and they didn't have the chicken that I needed, and I was like, I had a moment of, you know what, like, I'm pregnant, I should just go home and relax and not do this. And I was like, no, you know what, I think it would mean a lot to him if I made this casserole. Like, I just had this feeling. And so I went to another grocery store and got the chicken, and sure enough, he came home absolutely starving. He loved the casserole. He had 3 helpings of it, and he is so excited to have it again tonight. And I just remember thinking last night, like, I am so glad that I went the extra mile, which it wasn't that much of an extra, but I didn't have to. I could have just come straight home and relaxed and made this casserole for him. And with a lot of people, but men especially, the way to their heart is through food and packing their lunch and just doing those little things that they have a hard time with. Derek has always had a hard time feeding himself. It's like a big nuisance in his day. And I don't have a hard time feeding myself. So anyway, it's just something I can do to just help and make his life a little bit easier. For me, with eating and everything, gosh, it's a whole new experience. I used to be able to just kind of go a while without eating, or I'd fast or things like that, but that doesn't, you can't and do not do that when you are pregnant. There's this Instagram account that I follow that the guy has 2 pet pigs, and he said that when his pet pigs get hungry, they don't just nudge their bowl like a dog or like another, like any animal that like paces or whatever. They just start screaming. They just start screaming until they get food. And I have never identified more with an animal than his pet pigs, because and especially like in the first trimester, it's like an emergency, and it's not like hungry, like you feel like you're gonna, sometimes I would feel like I was gonna pass out, but you just felt, you immediately felt sick if you didn't eat. And so now I notice if I'm starting to feel sick and I'm like, what's going on? Like, is something happening? What's this and that? The first thing I look at is, when was the last time you ate? And if it's been over 3 or even 4 hours, that's what it is. I don't get hungry, I just start to feel nauseous and sick. I'm thankful for my body. I'm letting it do what it needs to do. My body knows exactly what it needs to do. I've never, of course, been this high of weight my entire life, and I still have a ways to go. And I try, and I also enjoy. So in the moments over the last several months when there's been fun opportunities to eat, or like we've eaten out or just anything, I've just enjoyed and ordered what I wanted and what sounded good. And I'm trying not to just go like crazy, but my body's also gonna do what it needs to do. Okay, so what else is on my list? So, you know, big life changes, just a lot of things. And it was so nice it's so nice to be able to share with all of you. And gosh, so many of you have lived beautiful and interesting lives that you've experienced so much that I feel like everything that I have shared with you that I've experienced or that I'm going through, so many of you understand and can give your insight. And it really does help a lot. It really does help a lot. I have to share with you that on my last doctor appointment, I was talking to my doctor and I said, well, the doll ladies say, and she's like, the doll ladies? And the doll guys, but the doll ladies that have been pregnant, they say, and then I was like talking about what they said, which was about that I don't feel tons and tons of movement, which we're gonna get to in a bit of why. But it was just funny to be in the doctor's office and be like, well, here's what the doll ladies said. And so many of you talked me off my ledge when it was about, what was I, about 25 weeks or so, when it was just, you see online, and I read online, so many people were feeling so much movement and I just wasn't. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm not, but the biggest reason is that I have an anterior placenta, which means it's in the front, and it is a thick covering, and it covers a lot of what I would normally feel if the placenta was somewhere else. So I feel stuff all the time every day, but nothing like the giant kicks and the things you'd see like on Instagram where you could see a foot or a hand coming through the belly, or just like where you could like see it from the outside or something like that. I had my 32-week scan checkup yesterday. Everything looked great. They were just very happy with everything that's going on, and I just could not be more grateful. I could not be more grateful. I don't know if I shared this with you, and it doesn't even matter, but this baby was planned. I just knew it was the time of my life where I had to do this. Last year, I think we had 4 virtual convention events, and I think I've done 8 total in the last 2 years. And we've just done so many wonderful things and all this travel and all of these things. But after my mom went to heaven, there was just a part of me that it started a little bit, and then it just started itching a little bit more and more, where I just felt the pull to do this, to be a mother. I didn't want it to pass me by. I am 35, and it was just time. Derek and I have been together for years. When I told him that this is kind of the direction we're going, I think like a lot of men that are just not thinking about it at all. It's different for women when we're thinking about it and it's a physical thing and everything. I mean, he was just like, what? You know? And I just said, honey, you know, this train is leaving the station. And luckily he was on the train, and Derek's just been completely amazing. I didn't expect it to happen so fast, and I just feel really, really blessed that it did. And that's why I was so shocked to find out that I was pregnant, is because it happened so fast. And I'm talking about within just like a couple weeks of, you know, pulling the goalie and getting, you know, having it be so I could get pregnant. We found out yesterday that the baby is breech, which means she's upside down. She should at this point be actually with her head down so that I could deliver vaginally, normally, whatever. I hate to use that word, but you know what I mean, like naturally is the word I was looking for. And she's like completely the other direction. And on one hand, I was kind of bummed, and I hope, and she still has a number of weeks. She still has like 4 weeks to turn herself around. So that's what we're gonna hope for, because I kind of want the experience, actually not kind of, I want the experience of, I wanted to see what it would be like to have my water break and to go into labor and to push out a baby. I've never done it, and I want to experience that if possible. But if not possible, then she has to be born by a C-section. And the great thing about a C-section is that they're scheduled. You don't actually go into labor. They don't want you to go into labor. And so it would kind of be like scheduling a hair appointment, like, oh, on Thursday at 2 p.m., And so you can really plan your life around it, which is a nice part. But I kind of envision myself being at the doll shop and like getting a sharp pain or something, and then like calling Derek and saying it's time. I do have my hospital bag ready. Luckily they make them that are like pre-made, and it just has all the things. Because I looked at the list of what you need in your hospital bag, and it overwhelmed me. And I found a nice female run company by mothers that you can buy a pre-packed hospital bag. So that's what I have here. I'll show it to you. This is not sponsored, by the way. I wish. It's by a company called Lily and Llama. And if you're ever looking for a fantastic baby shower gift or just a gift for a new mama, these pre-packed hospital bags are fabulous. And it has everything from so many things. Here's all the stuff that's on it. And who knows if I'm gonna use all these things. I just really don't know. I wanna be prepared. So I have my big old hospital bag. I know that people give birth in the middle of nowhere, in teepees, not in hospitals, you know, so it's like, where do you draw the line of what do you need and what do you not? But I've just done everything from things like pregnancy pillows to help me feel better, to sleep better. It's also important, so we'll see. But anyway, a lot of you have asked me, what is your due date? And I haven't put it out there, and I haven't shared, mainly because I don't know. And babies are usually never born on their due dates exactly. But if she stays breech, then it'll be earlier than the due date, and it'll be like a scheduled thing. Kind of makes it easier for my doll business. And my goodness, there is so much happening with the doll business. If you're still with me, it's all happening at once. But let me look at my notes here, because I think there was a couple other things that we had to chat about. Oh, we have a name. Now the name we're still trying on. It's such a good name. I love the name, and we'll probably share it when she's born. My hairdresser Josh, he was talking about a famous film actress, TV actress, a brilliant lady, classy lady. She's in her 70s, I think, but she's been all over TV, especially like Law and Order. She's been on Law and Order a lot. She plays a judge a lot. She's just so good. He said her name, and I was like, oh, that is such a great name. And it is such a great name for somebody that is grown up. So it's not necessarily the cutest name for like a little baby, but it's a great name for a dentist or a woman that has her own law firm, or just whatever, a zookeeper, you know, whatever she wants to be. It's a great name for that. It was kind of funny, I have to share with you guys. When I was getting my scan yesterday, they try to, the doctors and the people that work at the hospital, they always want to make conversation. And so when I say I work in dolls, a doll, and I usually have to spell it out because they're like doll, and I say, yes, I own a doll company, a doll shop, and we do all, and I sort of explain the different things that we do. It is so funny. They always say, oh, she's a girl, so she's just gonna like love dolls. And that's not necessarily true. When I was a little girl, I liked them when I was really little. I remember that. I liked Barbies, and when I was like really little, but for the bulk of my childhood, they were plentiful and they were everywhere, and I really liked reptiles, and I was not like girly. I was not into dolls, and so it would be awesome if she was, but I said in a post earlier that I don't have a picture of what she's gonna be like. I don't have dreams of us sitting there in the doll shop playing dolls on the floor. It's whatever she wants to do and be. So if she wanted to do that, I think that'd be super fun. She might be really into pottery, and she might wanna do ceramics like her dad. You know, it'd be fun to share that, but also my mom never forced those on me. She never forced it on me. I came and went as it felt natural just when I grew up, and I really appreciated that she didn't. One year she gave me a doll, and I was so sad because I wanted a jukebox so bad. I didn't want a doll. She gave me the jukebox, and return the doll. So, and you know, good for her. Like she never, and it didn't hurt her feelings either. It didn't hurt her feelings. My mom was just so cool about not putting on to other people what she wanted. It was like, fine, you're good. But what I wanted to say is that when I was doing the scan, and it was like you put something around your belly, and then you push a button like every time there's a movement. And she said, "Oh, you own a doll shop, so what is your favorite doll?" And I was sitting here like thinking, lady, if you knew how hard of a question that is to answer, like, okay, do you have a favorite doll? And if you do, put it in the comments because I want to know. But that is such a hard question to answer for most doll collectors. Now I know some of you only collect Barbie, so it's easy. It's an easy answer. My favorite doll is Barbie. But for a lot of us, sometimes we have a favorite doll of the week or of the month or of the time, but you can't, I just think for a lot of us, like you can't say what's your favorite doll. So she said that and I'm like laying there like, first of all, like I can't right now. But you have to be nice and talk about it because doll collecting and being in dolls for a living is extremely interesting. Everyone has a doll to talk about. Everyone can identify with dolls. Everyone's grandma has a doll, and so they have to tell you about it. And I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. But I was sitting there like thinking, I just want to like think about the baby and not dolls right now. And then I thought, well, if I tell her this, she's not even gonna know what that is, and then I will have to explain it. And then she was like, is it Raggedy Ann? And I said, yes, actually, Raggedy Ann is one of my very favorite kinds of dolls. It got me off the hook real quick. She just said, is it Raggedy Ann? And I was thinking, girl, if you only knew the adventures and the Raggedy Anns that I have in my collection. If you only knew. I'm excited for the name. When it's for sure, we'll probably announce it. It's just that I don't want to announce it until it's for sure. But we're pretty solid on that. Okay, so I wanted to tell you about the what's your favorite doll, and I wanted to ask you if you had one to tell me. And pregnancy symptoms. So a lot of you, so nice of you, have shared a lot of your symptoms and given a lot of advice on just what to do and stuff, and just to stay off your feet, and the heartburn. The biggest thing for me is I've had a ton of heartburn where it just feels like your throat is on fire, and it's a few times it's been so bad that it stings so much that it brings tears. Not that I'm crying because it hurts so bad, but I can't help but have tears because of the stinging so bad. It's kind of like when you stub your toe really bad, like your eyes will well up with tears just because it like stings so bad. So I've had a ton of heartburn, and that's super common. So many of you mamas have said to me, yeah, I had tons of heartburn. So I know that's normal. And when I was getting my scan yesterday, the technician was like, and she said it like this, she's like, does your back hurt? And I was like, well, yeah, but not much more than what I feel like it should. But I guess the way that the baby is, she kicks like towards my spine. It hasn't hurt like much more than I feel like is normal. Getting up is like, you know, you have to like get started. Getting in and out of bed is an entire workout. Walking down the hallway after you've been sitting for a while is an entire workout. So that brings me to my next thing that I wanted to chat about real quick. You know, the further you get along the line, and I know that this comes from a place of just chatting about life, and I am so grateful for my body, and anything that goes on, it's fine. It's all good. But it's a huge adjustment when this is new. It's the first time you're experiencing it for the first time, and I'm used to being extremely active, working long days, working all the time, sometimes around the clock. I mean, when I'm in virtual convention mode, or we're doing some kind of online event or a big promotion for a product, I mean, it's like we ride at dawn. You know, we're out there doing the thing at all hours of the day, and it's a very physical thing. I have a wonderful team that helps with a lot of things, but I'm in there, like putting on labels, stuffing packages, doing the thing. And I think any business owner does the same. You're just as involved, if not more, than your team. I'm cleaning the bathrooms some days. And I like doing that. Don't get me wrong. Like I like cleaning. I like to have. You have to stay up on it for sure. I do have help here at the house, thank goodness. But at the doll shop, you know, I'm the first one to be there, and I'm usually the first one to leave still. And it'll always be like that. My mom, it was like that with her too. So you just do what you need to do. Ellowyne has been trying to get here for a while. There's been just, I think, delays because of materials, and COVID, I think, is just still affecting like literally everything, especially shipping with goods. I've had a heck of a time with our Club Grace things, getting things like in the nick of time. We're fine. We've gotten everything that we need, but it's been a lot of like sleepless nights and just delays and planning and this and that. So she is on the way, the new Ellowyne collection with Robert Tonner, and she's scheduled to be here, like to land in Colorado, like a week before I'm supposed to give birth. They usually stay in customs for a bit, and there's usually always delays, like even more than what's already been delayed. So I can just see her like literally coming while I'm giving birth or something. And of course, you know, everyone at the doll shop can let her in. We're not leaving Ellowyne out in the cold. They'll let her in. But it's all happening at once. And of course, that's life. And that's everything. I haven't released any kind of, excuse me. Oh my gosh, I'm having heartburn right now. It like comes up. So I drink a lot of water. This is my emotional support water bottle, because like cold water just seems to just help for a bit. But man, okay. And also the subscription boxes too. I'm trying to like work ahead and plan as much as I can and get it all like ready like ahead of time and plan, which we're doing a really good job of. But the Ellowyne dolls, I'm just not sure of the timing of what we're gonna do. If I'm gonna try to, I would really love to share the collection and get it out there so that you know what it is and so that you know what's coming, and you can pick which dolls you want to buy and enjoy the collection and see them. The samples, the actual samples of the dolls, were supposed to be at my shop on Monday. They still are not here, but I'm sure they will get delivered. So by the time you're watching this, I probably have them. And I want to share those on video and show you, these are like Robert's samples from the factory. So they're not the production dolls. And to show those and then show you some of the photos and stuff like that and get them out there. And so I think we're gonna do that, but then the actual fulfillment, I'm not sure how that's gonna happen, because I'm not sure when the dolls are actually going to arrive. When they get to customs, when they get through, it's usually in Los Angeles, then it's usually like, it's been as little as 3 days to get through customs and get to Colorado, or as much as several weeks that they've been held up in customs. So it's kind of a waiting game. It's going to be exciting and fun. I'm really excited for the collection. Robert actually absolutely loves it. He just thinks they're just fantastic. I haven't seen them yet. I know they're fantastic. It's Robert Tonner, and it's going to be amazing to put him out there in the world. But it's like, we're going to plan it a little bit around, you know, just what's going on. The wonderful thing about the doll people is that you are so understanding, you are so supportive, you are so helpful. So I know even if we did a sale and sold them sometime in November or December, you would understand if we had to ship them, you know, in January. Because Sister Mama might be home recovering for a little bit. But we're just gonna see how the cookie crumbles. I'm gonna see how I feel, see when the dolls come. If you would ask me a year ago, like, would I be pregnant and literally thinking that $800 are gonna arrive to my shop the same week that I'm scheduled to give birth, I would have said no to all, and here we are. So you just never know how things are going to turn out and what life's going to be like, but I will keep you in the loop. The reason why I haven't shared a lot of it is because there have been a lot of delays. We thought we'd have them like before now. So I don't like to put things out there and then take it back and say, oh, there's, you know, I've done that a lot, and we all understand this. We all know, especially like with dolls and products and things, is that it takes a while. And so my favorite way, if possible, is to put things out there when I have them. Most of you are so understanding, but I do get a lot of emails of where is it, and you know, every day, and it just puts another layer of kind of like stress on me. So I'm trying to keep as much as the stress off of me as possible, which is really, really hard to do as just a pregnant lady in general. a person in general, but also like a business owner. I think a lot about money. I think a lot about our next move. I think a lot about products and worrying and are they gonna love it, and just managing all my people. Basically like what I need to do for the baby, and that. I know I'm gonna need space in my life to also think about other things. We're gonna do this together with the dolls, and we're gonna be fine. I love sharing and marketing and doing the modern dolls because it just really fits my personality and style, and I really love having things that I can offer multiples of, and you know how much I love fashion, so it's a lot of fun to just really go wild and do fashion dolls with Robert Tonner. It's just been a remarkable experience. I've truly loved every minute. And then I love everything we've done with the vintage and antique dolls and all the collections that we have visited around the country and around the world, and just all the wonderful people that we've worked with and collaborated with on our channel. And so from one day I could be showing you the new Ellowyne line, and then, or the Grace line, or the Nima line. Nima's coming in like January. So that's the new black doll with Robert, and she's incredible. She's one of the most beautiful dolls I've ever seen in my life. She's absolutely amazing. Or the next day I could be showing you an 1850s paper mache, or a wonderful French antique bisque doll. So it's very freeing for me, or Barbie. It's very freeing for me to not be in a box, or no dolls. We're just sitting here chatting right now about life and being pregnant and C-sections and heartburn. So, you know, it's a different vibe. So this is what's called a nursing pillow, I have found out, and you stick it here. It's kind of looks like a life preserver, and then you can like nurse your baby easier. I'm excited to share the nursery when it's finished, but right now we haven't done anything more than a few of the pictures you've seen, which is we painted it white, and then Derek did the cute pink border. We brought in our furniture. This is my glider chair. It is very comfortable. And that's about it. We have a crib. One of the big questions I get is are we gonna use the antique Victorian crib for the baby? And the answer is no. I'm going to be, of course, taking pictures and doing photo ops, but that crib right now it's full of antique dolls, and I love that. I don't really want to take them all out. I could, but I just love the look with the antique dolls. And it is a safe crib. It was the crib that my mother used for me and my brother. It's a phenomenal crib. Everyone's familiar with it. You've all seen it. But it's in the front of the store, and I just can't see myself having the baby be up in the front of the store and then having me be somewhere else. I work in the back. My office is in the back. So for the doll shop, I have a little bassinet. And then at home, we have a, what do you call it? A crib. It's cute, it's gray, it's a cute crib. But also, she's gonna be sleeping in our room too for like the first 6 months, so I don't even know how much I'm gonna use a crib. I don't know, we're gonna see. I really feel like I'm gonna come full circle. I really feel like this is gonna heal my heart a lot. Just being a mom myself, having this part of my life happen. And I couldn't be more appreciative to all of you for your support, for sharing, commenting, liking the videos, for sending us beautiful cards and super sweet gifts in the mail. I've received so many. One of you sent diapers and wipes, and they're right here. And I'm gonna use them. So I really appreciate anything, the kind messages, it all means so much. Sometimes I can't show everything on camera. Sometimes I can't respond right away, you know, and I know that you all understand, and I try my best with all of it, but I really appreciate your hearts and just everything. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to the subscribers of Club Grace. That really helps churn the wheel for us every single month. Thank you for just your business and your patience and being such good friends. Such good friends. You know you're good friends when in your doctor's appointment you're talking about your doll people. Well, the doll people said Derek has another late night, but I know he's gonna be excited to have the rest of his casserole when he gets home. Paul is, I think, making a bunch of barbecue with my dad. If you're new here, I live in the house next door to the house I grew up in, which is right next door to my house right now. When my mom had Alzheimer's disease, we needed to just take care of her full time towards the end and towards the last couple years. And I lived in an apartment that I had for 12 years. I loved it was a condo that I owned, and I lived there, and I loved it. It fit my lifestyle for so long, but then it got to the point where it didn't. I had a lot of stairs, and I was in a condo with the 2 bulldogs, and just my life changed. And I just, even driving the 10 minutes away when I was helping my mom almost every day, it would have been so nice to be closer. And I think I've told this story, but in a nutshell, there was a house up the street that came up for sale that I had put in an offer on, like I was so close to buying it, and then it fell through because the people that couldn't come up with the money, came up with the money in the last 45 minutes of the deadline. And I was so incredibly devastated. Truly, I was so devastated. And it was so sad because my mom and I just wanted it so bad, and she could talk at the time, and we had just dreamed and hoped, and they were moving to Europe, and so they were selling it to me furnished, and they had great taste, and it was just it felt like it was such a dream come true. But anyway, it fell through. I was crying. I was crying sad in a robe for a day. It was that sad for me. Things usually don't hit me like that, but not getting that house did, because it shattered a lot of dreams and hopes that I had. And anyway, 6 months later, this house next door, we share a fence, it came up for sale, and my dad called me about it, and I was in Wyoming with my mom at a doll show, and I said, oh my God, I have to buy it. Give me the number. And I called the lady, and I just said, I'm the next door neighbor. My mother is sick. I need to buy this house. Please sell it to me. Please sell it to me. And she actually did not want to go through the process of showing it and having people in her home, and that gave her a lot of anxiety. So she was like, I'd be glad to sell it to you. And it never actually went to market. I bought it right then. My dad loaned me the money so that I didn't have to be in some huge rush to sell my condo to buy this house, because it was a lot more than my condo. And then I sold my condo and paid my dad back, and I have a very small loan, which is very nice. And I moved in, and we're here. So it was all meant to be. It was all meant to be. It's a very sweet, I think it was built in the 50s. We'll show it to you more someday. This is a sweet house that's perfect for us right now. And I lived here for 6 months before Mom went to heaven, and it was worth every penny and everything. So, oh, I just got a text from Linda. She said, are we working tomorrow? Yeah, Linda. We're actually gonna be filming a video with Linda that she's gonna scream, because literally her desk at work is covered in so many dolls. So many dolls. You're gonna love the video. It'll probably come out 3 or 4 days after this one. She's been gone for a month and a half, going to her place in Oklahoma, teaching her classes, and the dolls have piled up. So we have a lot to get through, a lot of repair, a lot of fun dolls to offer, and just put out there and just share with you. So I know you're gonna love it. So yeah, Linda, we're working tomorrow, girl. It's been so great to see you and to catch up. I know I've shared a lot, but it was a lot of things that I just really wanted to catch up on and chat with you with. So in the next couple months, I'm just gonna keep just sharing information, and if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us over email. Thank you so much, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.